Hey everybody, Hat Creature here. In this video I will be explaining my concept for a Nightmare on Elm Street video game. It can be done, and it isn't as convoluted or as difficult as some people may feel. In fact, because this particular franchise takes place within dreams, it has a lot going for it, and the possibilities are endless. Almost anything is possible. So to start, this game will be a 1v4 asymmetrical survival horror game, where one player plays Freddy, of course, and 4 others play as dreamers. The objective of the dreamer is to wake up. Every match, one of several objectives will be randomly chosen and given to the dreamers. Completing this objective will start a 60-second timer, after which they wake up and spawn in the real world. The real world is the static version of the map. They were already on, untainted by Freddy's influence. In the real world, each dreamer is randomly placed around the map, asleep, and they spawn in there when they awaken, and can even visit the other sleeping dreamers and interact with them, but will be unable to wake them up. In the Nightmare, the map will be completely different. There might exist doors here that don't in the real world. Hallways may end up nowhere or not even really exist. The layout of the map may also change if Freddy so desires. In order to leave through the exit and win the game, the dreamer must find the key to unlock it first, and then they can leave. Once the exit is unlocked, it will stay that way for all the other dreamers until Freddy locks it and makes the key respawn. So again, when the dreamer awakens, they wake up in the real world on the map, and then they have to leave the map again through the front exit. So the objectives for the dreamers include, but are not limited to, repairing reality by finding objects that have been misplaced and returning them to their proper spots, following their own screams around the map and interacting with the environment to continue the trail, and finally rescuing kidnapped dream children who are playing jump rope. The objective will change every match, and every step of the objective will be guarded by a creature or traps. The traps, when triggered, alert Freddy to your location. Non-hostile creatures will do the same. You can find weapons laying around the map and can use them against Freddy, the traps, or the creatures. Dreamers cannot kill Freddy, but they can stun him. Weapons will break eventually, but some characters don't need weapons to fight back. All dreamers are different and have their own abilities. They don't have powers, but they can interact with the environment in different ways. Some dreamers might be athletic and can run faster. Some might be able to disarm traps without weapons. Some might know how to fight and don't need weapons to defend themselves. Some still might actually start with more courage than the others, but we'll get to courage later on. Once a dreamer completes their objective and wakes up, the game doesn't actually end. From here they have several options. Option 1, leave the area through the exit. Once they leave, they get this nice end screen with serene, fulfilling music that says, "You survived the nightmare." A few seconds later, the screen turns dark and foreboding. Music creeps in. The words are replaced with a red title that says, "This time." And you can hear Freddy laughing in the background. This is just like the films. Everyone who wakes up in the films did in fact survive their nightmare, only to eventually fall asleep later on and enter another one. The goal is for the player to feel like they won and accomplished something, but at the same time feel like playing again because they're getting called out. "You won this time, buddy, but can you do it again?" Option 2, for when they wake up. When the dreamer escapes the nightmare, they can choose to stay in the game and play the support role for the remaining players still asleep and in danger. A player who has woken up can give a dreamer a good shake and cancel out one of their objectives, helping them to get out sooner But they can only do this one time, so they must choose who they want to get out sooner. Possibly someone who has maxed out courage? Laying around the map are healing items and other resources. The player can choose to use these on the remaining dreamers and save them when they're in a pinch, but they are limited and there won't be enough to save everyone. In fact, by using these resources on the dreamers, they might not have any left if one of them pulls Freddy out of the nightmare with them. Option 3. Awakened dreamers can choose to stay behind and set up traps around the map in the real world, in preparation if someone manages to pull Freddy out of the nightmare. There are weapons scattered about, and players who are awake would be smart to place a weapon near each dreamer, so when they wake up, they can defend themselves. Unlike other asymmetrical games, this format does not focus on teamwork. Players can work together, but the team cannot complete objectives to get the entire team out at one time. Each dreamer has their own objective, and completing another dreamer's will help them get out, but not themselves. Players can work together, however. If they decide to stick together and help each other complete their objectives, their courage will raise faster and go down slower when they're attacked. However, sticking together means they get things done slower as well. If they split up, they can get out faster, but they're more vulnerable. Team gameplay is encouraged, but in the end, everyone must get themselves out. Now for people who enjoy playing the villain, like myself, this is what Freddy can do. Freddy is a dream demon, and though the dreams are not his, the world abides by his rules. This is his domain. Freddy has multiple abilities and can be customized by the player. Not all abilities will be available at one time, so the player must pick and choose what they enjoy. This way everyone can make their own Freddy suited to their playstyle. A short list of abilities include placing traps, summoning creatures, turning invisible, and shapeshifting. There's also good old-fashioned melee for those who prefer getting up and close. These are not all of his abilities, these are just examples. To simulate Freddy's ability to control the environment, Freddy can create up to 3 presets for each map. He can place traps, move walls, hallways, he can lock doors, and add creatures. He gets to see the entire map and can make changes as he likes. These presets are saved and cannot be changed during a match. During the match, however, Freddy will have the ability to switch presets. This ability has a long cooldown, as it is meant to confuse dreamers and get in their way, not outright win the game. This ability can be used strategically. For instance, if you are chasing a dreamer down a hallway that leads to a room, but you have a preset that puts a wall in the way, you can switch to that preset and trap the dreamer in a dead end. This of course means that room has that same opening place somewhere else, so the room can still be entered, but from a different spot. So while you cornered this dreamer, you may have made it easier for another to get around. Now we've gone over what the dreamer's objective is, so next we'll go over Freddy's. Freddy's single goal is to kill each dreamer. In order to do this, he must drain the courage of a dreamer by using traps, creatures, or by simply attacking them. Courage acts as a shield for dreamers, and when it depletes, they can be killed. Each dreamer that is killed lowers the cooldown of all Freddy's abilities to simulate his strength growing with each kill. Now that we've gotten this far, we can finally go over courage in its entirety. Courage is a meter that dreamers have. It acts as a shield and as a progress bar for their own singular ability. Courage can be raised by completing objectives, disarming traps, and killing creatures. The dreamer is progressing through the nightmare and slowly facing their fears, so naturally they'll become more confident and gain courage. Once their courage has maxed out, they will gain the grapple ability. This ability can only be used during the 60 seconds they have before they wake up after completing all objectives. Even if the courage is depleted after it has reached its max, they will not lose the ability, just the courage. Grapple is a combat ability where dreamers can latch on to Freddy and issue an escape prompt from him. If he fills up the meter, he will escape the grapple. The purpose of grapple is to capture Freddy, and if you are in the middle of a grapple, when your 60 seconds is up, you will pull Freddy into the real world with you and wake up all the other players. From here, the game changes instantly from a 1v4 to a 4v1. If the dreamer successfully pulls Freddy out of the nightmare, the game will end when Freddy or all remaining dreamers are dead. Dreamers don't have to fight Freddy, they can just leave through the front exit, but they have to reach it first. If the exit is unlocked, Freddy can lock it back up and respawn the key, but only once. In this scenario, when everybody is awake, dreamers can attack Freddy as he is finally vulnerable. But so are they, as they no longer have a shield. It's anyone's game now. Freddy will randomly spawn somewhere on the map, and he will be stripped of all his powers, but instead have them replaced with all melee attacks. Freddy doesn't have a lot of health, but he hits hard and moves fast. He can slash, dash, kick, and even dodge. Dreamers, depending on who they pick, will have similar moves, but only Freddy will have them all. Dreamers can use weapons or traps they've set up around the map, and there are resources to heal themselves up in a pinch. This will be the final showdown, and if the dreamers succeed in killing Freddy, they will all get a nice ending screen saying, "Freddy's dead." Then, like before, the screen will become darker and say, "For now." Freddy does not laugh in this case. The idea is that the players will feel that they won the ultimate challenge and defeated the final boss. But is he really dead? Did it really matter? If Freddy wins, he gets a beautiful screen of his boiler room with him dancing on the graves of the dreamers and laughing. If he dies, the boiler room is cold and unlit with a title card that says, "Kids these days." The idea is that Freddy just wants to have a good time. It's all in good fun, and if he doesn't get his way, then it's the kids who are wrong. So this is the basic outline of the game for both sides, what they can do and what they need to do. But games aren't just mechanics. Games need to reward players so they'll keep playing. Progression is made by completing tasks, winning, killing creatures, dreamers, etc. Points can be used to buy cosmetics in the store. Dreamers can pick their clothes and customize their favorite weapons. Freddy can do that too, as well as pick costumes for his various creatures. The game would need some sort of monetization to stay alive, but that would be up to the developer of the game, and there are many ways to do that, which I don't have experience with, so I won't offer any concrete one. All of this is also just stage 1 of the game. Upon release, this is what the game comes with, but over time the game will add new chapters with new content. Stage 2 will introduce new maps, new dreamers, and new abilities for Freddy. Stage 2 is called Dream Warriors, based on the third film in the franchise. Dream Warriors is the name of the chapter, but also the new dreamer type. Dream Warriors have augmented abilities that the other dreamers do not have, and can go toe-to-toe with Freddy in the nightmare. They don't just stun Freddy, they can outright dematerialize him for a certain amount of time. They may sound like they're pay-to-win characters, but the trade-off to having abilities is that they have no shield like the normal dreamers. Dream Warriors are overconfident and can be downright killed because they don't have a courage meter like the others. They can't pull Freddy out of the nightmare and have no armor, so while they are stronger in fighting, they are weaker in survivability. When Freddy dematerializes, he will come back after a time has passed, and can choose where he spawns in as well. Basically a free teleportation. One of Freddy's new abilities when the Dream Warriors chapter comes out is a debuff, and can neutralize Dream Warrior abilities for a few seconds. This way he can fight back against the new characters, and he gets more abilities to choose from other than this. The new map that comes with this chapter is the Junkyard from the third film. This map has a unique feature exclusive to it alone. Freddy's bones are buried somewhere on the map, and if a dreamer wakes up and digs up those bones, they can destroy it. If they manage to destroy the bones, Freddy will do an animation from the third film where he explodes and dematerializes. During this time, all traps and creatures are taken off the map. When Freddy returns after a set period, everything else spawns back in as well. Unlike the films, this won't kill Freddy, just give the remaining dreamers some breathing room. As powerful as this feature is, it is not easy to accomplish. Once Freddy's bones are disturbed, they will assemble and create Skeleton Freddy. The player can either control Skeleton Freddy and have a 1v1 fight, or choose to let the AI do it instead so they can multitask on the people still asleep. Players cannot choose the map, so this will be a fun extra thing for people to do whenever this map shows up. It's a new showdown for dreamers and a chance for Freddy to kill someone who escaped and dared return. Stage 3 of the game will introduce a smaller new featurette. This chapter is called Dream Master, based off the fourth film, respectively. This introduces a feature similar to the Tommy Jarvis feature in the Friday the 13th game. Hidden somewhere on the map is a dream gate. Dreamers can uncover this large decorative mirror gate that was buried and hidden away. Once activated, it will summon the Dream Master. Once all 4 dreamers have either died or escaped the nightmare, one of them will be randomly chosen to return as the Dream Master, who has incredible abilities. Freddy and the Dream Master will then be teleported to a chapel where they will duke it out 1v1. This feature may not be something all players may enjoy, so if someone is chosen to be the Dream Master, they can opt out, and it will select the next player in line. The player playing Freddy may not want to participate, so they can opt out, and the Dream Master will face an AI. This chapter will have less content because development would have mainly focused on AI for players who just want the game to end. This is just a fun new quirk that can be added to the game, and not something that gets in the way as everyone can choose to ignore it. It's basically a kind of a heavily developed fan service. Stage 4, my personal favorite, will be titled New Nightmare. This adds in a new game mode for players, a smaller one. This mode has one map. The dreamers have no courage shields. The dreamers must work together to complete their objective, and there are only 2 dreamers. This is hard mode for those who want an immediate challenge as a dreamer and an easy kill as Freddy. Freddy will have no presets, no traps, or creatures on the map when he spawns in. They must all be placed manually from the start. The map is procedurally generated, so the layout is different every time with the same basic layout. The map is from the 7th film, New Nightmare. This map is Demon Freddy's home with Greek architecture. It's basically hell. Freddy cannot be pulled into the real world, as this is the ultimate showdown and final challenge. The dreamers must kill Freddy to escape, but they must do so in a smart and mischievous manner. This isn't a brawl, it's a desperate chance for survival. This chapter will include new maps and cosmetics, as do the other chapters, but this is the highlight of Stage 4. Each chapter brings in new things to unlock, new abilities, and so forth. Nightmare on Elm Street has an ample library of things that can be made to extend the lifespan of a video game. There's so much a dev team can do with this license. All they need is creativity and, of course, money. I made this video to lay the groundwork. This was the hard part. The concept. I hope I made it clear how a game for this franchise can be formatted, and this isn't the only way. This is my way. If I had a team or the skills, I would start a campaign, and maybe get the license myself and then crowdfund it. But I don't. Instead, I can only inspire someone else who have those things. I would hope I would be included in the designing of the game if someone does, but I won't get my hopes up, as this video may never become popular or get seen by anyone important. This video may fade away into obscurity because I don't know how to advertise on social media. I really think other YouTubers like Slash and Cast should see this. I highly encourage you guys to share this so someone who has pull, someone who has the strengths I don't, can see this and maybe bring a Nightmare on Elm Street back from the dead. Freddy can live again and terrify us in a whole new way. We just need to convince someone with money to do it. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day, and don't fall asleep.